Now, before I get going here today and sort of test out this plastic putty that we were working with yesterday, I was going to throw this out. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, I might be able to use this little handle for something. And then I thought, you know what? If I was to trim, well, let me zoom in a little closer here and then I can show you. Now, it might be a little bit difficult to see here, but some of the strands are sort of splayed out to the sides, and they're the ones that can give you a problem when you're trying to do very, very delicate, application of some sort of fluid. Now, what I was thinking is if I was to take and very carefully snip those ones off, the ones that are splayed out to the sides, then I could use this brush when I want to use this stuff here. And what I'm thinking is, let me try and show you here. Hope I'm not going to make a mess. But the applicator that comes with this is just a little bit on the bold side, I think. And I was watching some people trying to use this on YouTube yesterday. And what I was noticing is that it seemed to put too much on all at once. So my thinking is that possibly if I was to trim this down, I could put little tiny minute amounts on in an area where I don't want it to be, spreading out too quickly. Anyway, that's my thinking. Now, you all know how I'm big on making jigs. If you've watched a whole lot of my woodworking episodes, you'll know I'm always making a little jig for something. Well, there's no exception here. Make a little bit of room and I'll show you what I did. Okay, I drilled a hole in this piece of wood that is just slightly larger than this brush. And it goes through. Now the idea is that I'm going to be able to turn it, and it's always going to keep this more or less in the same place. And that way, when I zoom right in, the field of view is going to be in the right place. Sometimes I get so busy concentrating on what I'm doing that I forget that the viewers can't see it anymore. It's moved way off to the side, or maybe out of focus, or and the idea of this is it'll always keep it in the right place. Now I am noticing, however, that the little hairs here blend in with the background pretty bad. So maybe if I put a piece of paper underneath, that might help. Yeah, that'll be better, I think. So okay, I'm going to be using these scissors, and in order to make it easy for myself, I want to get this at just the right angle here so that I can sort of, come in and snip them off. Hey, I could pretend I'm a barber. Now I am zoomed in here about as close as I can get, and it appears to me that there's really only one or two that are really bad. There's this one here. Let's see if I can get it. Now, I hope you're not going to end up just seeing an image of my big red nose. I think I kind of got it there. Get these splayed out. Okay, there's this one over here on this side. Very gently now. Okay. What do we got here? Well, it's somewhat better. Maybe there's this one here. Let's trim that. Now, once I trim these, there's no going back here. How about this one here? Bend it out a little bit so I don't catch any of the others. Maybe I should be using something else other than scissors. There. Okay, so it looks like there's probably 6 or 8 little hairs that'll form a point right here. Let's wet that and see what happens. Well, I guess we'll know once I start trying to use it for what I want to use it for. Now, as long as I've got the macro lens on, this might be a really good time to take a look at this. Okay, I've got some 1000 grit sandpaper here. And how well is this going to sand without crumbling? Well, it doesn't stick very good to glass, but then that's to be expected. Now, I don't know if you can notice it or not, but it did sort of flare out pretty good right here. Okay, here's a more horizontal view, in other words, more from the side. Now, you'll notice I wasn't sanding right here. I was sanding all around here. And you should notice that it tapers from nothing, no sanding here, right down, right to the glass here. Yeah, I think it's going to work out okay. It sands really nice. I think it is going to sand a lot easier than the plastic. But we'll soon know, because I'm going to try it out right now. Okay, I've decided I am not going to use this. I'm going to try the little applicator that they provided with this tube. And right here is considerably higher than right here. So there's going to be a fair amount of plastic that has to be removed right here to get it flush. In fact, I'm going to want to be careful that I don't go right through. But anyway, let's see what's going to happen here. Now, according to the little video that the manufacturer wants you to look at, they said you just use a wet finger to smooth it out. Oh, well, alright, there's a wet finger. Let's see what's going to happen here. I can always wipe it off and do it again. Here on the bow, there's like it's further forward right here than it is here, so there's going to be a little bit of a fix to do right there. Michelangelo I am not. Well, I guess I better get the cap on this or it's going to dry out on me here. I'm glad that Q-tips are cheap. Okay, now it appears to me that the crack is actually filled, and I'll probably have to do this a second time. Anyway, we'll let that dry, and then we'll sand it down. In the meantime, I'm going to do this side over here exactly the same way. Okay, that's not true. I'm going to use this little brush here and see if maybe it works better than my finger. All I want to do is make sure that it's in the crack. Well, for a first time, I guess it's all right. Now we'll let it set. I may have put too much on here. My main concern is get it into the crack. Well, I'm hoping that this is going to sand away fairly easily. Maybe what I should do is do this one first, and then if it works out okay, then go ahead and do the other one. Okay, here's a thought I just had. When I was using these ones that had the putty on the end here, I didn't want to turn it around without, having it touch in my hand. So, this sort of makes sense to me. Why not just take and cut these in half Oh my goodness, that went across the room. Okay, I'll have to do that different. Anyway, the idea would be to have a whole bunch like this, and then you just, throw it out after you're through and grab a new one. Then you're not going to be getting it up into your hand here. Yeah, I wonder if I can find that one now. Okay, I just want to show you that I'm not a complete klutz here. Ta-da! Okay, that should do for a while. Now, I had been thinking today of possibly, spraying this edge here, the color that the manufacturer suggests, which is a little darker than this gray that's already there. I'd leave it, the way it is, except that it looks like plastic. And there's a good reason for that. Well, it is plastic. Now, yeah, however, if I page ahead in the instructions, and just let me rearrange things here and I'll show you what I mean. We are right here on step 3 still, where we put these two pieces down on the deck. However, if I go ahead, well, here's a whole bunch of little pieces that have to be made yet to be dropped down onto the deck, which means maybe painting it right now is not a good idea either, but I'm worried about, or thinking about this part right here, all the way along the edge. And, there's quite a bit of work yet to do, stuff being attached to the deck. Oh yeah, here we are. Now, you notice here, there's pieces here that have to be attached to the side. Like, for instance, these ones here. Well, they would go somewhere right here, I guess. And these ones here, they'll go back here somewhere. Do I have the right piece? Anyway, you know what I'm getting at. And, oh yeah, these are the ones for the other piece. If that makes any sense. And here's some more pieces that look like they go right up against. Which part here? Where are we now? Yeah, this one is that one. So these little pieces here, they go right up against here. Am I going to be giving myself problems by painting, this now? I don't know. There's quite a bit of stuff that has to be fastened down before you get out of. See, we're still dealing with these sections here. I'm just sort of thinking out loud here. Okay, now we're into the other pieces that go on top of here. Finally, we're probably done with this and the deck. I think that everything else from now on, from here on, has to do with the upper superstructure. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta decide what I'm gonna do here. I'm kind of anxious to spray this and see how it looks, and I was kind of looking forward to trying this stuff and see how it would work all around the doors and windows, and I don't know if you can see it, but that looks like it's supposed to be a life preserver. So that would probably have to be painted some sort of a light gray or white. I'm just guessing. Anyway, I think that's it for today, folks. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.